Okay, I think what I'm going to do now is just work on a little tag, because I do want to make something out of this little reward of merit. And I like this little clock. I got this out of a huge book I have on the history of photography, so that little mantle clock. So I'm going to use a page from out of the actual text block from this book. I'm trying to decide which side I want. Birds of Passage, Flower de Luce, The Courtship of Miles Standish. I like this one because it still says contents, the seaside and the fireside. Yeah, okay, let's use this one. And what I've done is, this is actually Bessie's birth registration. So you can see here, January 24th, 1877. I was really lucky because her birth registration, there's 6 to a page from this particular era. And so the 3 at the top and the 3 at the bottom, if you're on the right side of, or pardon me, the extreme left side of the page, you get the where born, name, you know, parents, that sort of thing. So she was in the right spot, and so I liked that I was able to keep that. I can print this off because it's from 1877, so there's no copyright on it. And it's publicly available. So I printed it off just onto some creamy colored paper. And so I'm going to put this on one side and maybe make a little collage on the other side. Although I might do the collage on this side. This lower information isn't quite so important. It's the day she was registered, the doctor who delivered her. Well, her mother delivered her. Don't get me going on that. Ugh, I shouldn't even be. Don't get me going. The name of the registrar. I'm tempted to just collage down here. So I actually may not use this. And then just make this into a journaling card on the other side. That's what I want. All right, I want some tea-dyed paper. I'm going to grab a sheet, an offcut. No, little missy. Sorry about that. I might use this. Although, if I'm going to cut the top, you won't notice that it's steno paper. And I really love the tops of steno paper. I might have to go see if somebody needs to go out. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, she's resettled. And I actually found this offcut that I like better. So, I'm going to use 2 sheets of paper. Here's my hope, is that it will, I'm still trying to think about cutting down on bulk. So, I'm looking for my scissors. There we go. All right. I'm still looking at achieving the look I want with minimal bulk, because it is already, there, I can save that part. No point saving that. Minimal minimal bulk because of what I have already put into her. I like these staining here, so I would like to maybe glue this right up here, and then I'll give fresh edge to both sides. That's the plan. Glue stick. There we go. Now, something I want to do is, really quickly, before that starts drying, I'm going to hold this up to the window and I'm going to put some art glitter glue around where I anticipate I'm going to be doing my cut line, just because, I know I say it all the time, I do not completely trust glue stick. I just don't. There we go. So what I did, in case that wasn't evident, I won't know until I preview this. I held it up and I ran art glitter glue sort of roughly around where I anticipate the edge, the new edge is going to be when I trim this. All right. Where's my other sheet that I did a testing on? I hate trying to cram this back in and then it makes a mess inside there. All right, so let's just, for the meantime, do this. I'm not sure I want to let that dry, but I can start playing with what I want here, because yes, I would still like to put a little tuck spot down here, and I would, maybe that might make a cute little tuck spot, because then you can still see a little bit of the name of the town. That could go in there, award of merit. I can see this is going to need to go under my brick when I'm all done. But it will dry out flat. I'm not going to sew this one. I might wait till the end and decide if I can spare the bulk and sew it, because even sewing will bulk things up. And I may pause and let this dry. That way I can give myself an edge and I'll know what size I'm dealing with. And I'm going to put this onto a, I'm going to back it so that it can become, yeah, and this will need to be backed as well. So see how that's slowly building up to be bulky? We've already got 1, 2, this will be 3, 4, 5, 6 layers ultimately when I finish one tag. So you gotta be choosy. All right, I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. Okay, so I took a moment while this was drying and I backed this and I backed that, and those are ready. So, and I've changed my mind about something. I was thinking I was going to make this a tag, but also make it a layered tag like that. But I think what I'm going to do is actually, this is going to be a tuck spot. This is actually from, it's a photo, but it's from 1940s, from a British magazine, Women's Journal from the 1940s that I have, and so I have a whole bunch of those. It was a spread of different samples of little flowers of embroidery. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a page, as I said, a busy page, and I think I want it closer to the front. Find a busy page. Hold on, let me move over. I'm sure I'm off screen. And maybe make the tuck spot in here, and it could go in there and be hiding in behind. Contents even. No, that's a little small for, although this paper's not bad. It's pretty good, as I said. I don't want to push my luck with doing a tiny tuck spot. Okay, so definitely not the first signature, because I already have these two fabulous pockets in the first signature that I made from that page spread from that other journal. So let's focus on the second signature. There's already that really good tuck spot. Maybe on the little birds. They're yellow birds, and this is a yellow flower. Then I'm only covering up the warbler. I'm sure the warbler won't mind. And then you could go in there. Yes. There we go. Executive decision. So I want to trim that edge. Where's a rock? I need a rock. There we go. I want to trim this edge. Let's get you out of the way, because I'm sure I'm going to hurt this, and I don't want to hurt that. Alright, so I want the edge, that line that was already on the original page that this was printed on. I might go closer, I'm not sure yet. Nice to have options, right? Little Miss gets her second set of shots on Friday, tomorrow. So we're getting that much closer to being able to take her out for walks. Of course, that's also a challenge too. Teaching good leash manners. There we go. All right, I like that. I'm just looking for a piece of paper over here. Come on, let go. Not you. Sorry. I had a piece of paper in there that shouldn't have been in there. I keep a bin over here of just leftover papers that I'll never use, so that they can go underneath when I'm inking and stuff. Something got into it that shouldn't have been into it. Alright, so as ever, fresh cut edge gets inked. I wonder if I should stamp on the side. Now that I've got my stamps up on the wall, maybe I'll use them more often, because I can just glance over and think, oh yeah, I want to put such and such a stamp on here. All right, now it's time to replace that little strip pad on my cutting board. Sometimes the groove gets so deep you have to flip it over so that it's got a fresh little padding that goes underneath the wheel. Or else, if you don't get to it, you can just push that back down. Brush, brush. Now this side, although it's on off sort of a creamy colored paper, it definitely needs to look older. So I'm going to feel free to be dramatic. Not that I don't ever feel free to over-dramatize with ink. I mean, come on. Now, I want this one, and I have another one that I like better. Where is it? Nope, you're not there. It must be here somewhere. There it is. That's the one I like better. I wish I had it had a different side to it that I trimmed off. And then I rounded the corners so that I was poking myself. Those are sharp. No, it wasn't you. Might have been you. Let me see if that's the right width. Yeah, this must have been the other side of it. I don't know. I wish I could tell you what the brand is for this one. I like it a little bit better than the Tim Holtz one. The Tim Holtz one is still good, but I find that's a little big for the tiny things that we sometimes work on, and those little splashy details are a little bit smaller and a little bit finer. So let's just have a little bit of fun. I like the little splashy marks that it leaves. Let's put some rings across the bottom, shall we? Getting hungry. It's almost lunchtime. Oh yeah, that looks good with those rings. I don't want to cover up her name, but I don't mind putting a little drama right here. That looks good. And maybe some of the polka dot splashies up here. Yeah, oh, maybe a few polka dot splashies along there. I find I have to be quite intense to get it through those holes. Yes, there we go. I'm a little happier. That's already got some drama just from the tea, so I'm not going to. Oh, never say never. It will unify the ink color to this side. Yeah. That's, I'm happier now. Okay. There. What I was saying, because of course, you know, oh look, squirrel. This tea dye is a slightly different shade from this ink. So by this ink, bringing it over to this side, it sort of unifies the whole tag so that it still feels like it was always one piece. And same with the shade of the spills. Of course, why wouldn't the spills come through on the other side? So that's my thinking anyways. All right, so I like this, and it's not too bulky, so that's nice. I'm trying to decide if I want to. If I put a tab up here, it'll cover the date of her birthday, and that's important. I do have this little, hold on. I have this tiny little Victorian, yeah, that's just registrar and remarks. There were no remarks. I get the impression, pardon me, even though there was no remarks, I guess it was such a common thing in the 1870s, one of her younger siblings died on the same day as her mother. So I think we can pretty well figure out what must have happened there. Sadly, I've certainly found that more than a few times in my family tree. On my one family side, Michael Dalton, his wife's name was Bessie Rose Dalton, and she died giving birth to her 13th child. My goodness. And then he went on to marry a woman named Catherine. They didn't have any more children. Catherine and Michael didn't. Okay, here we go. So I just used a light inking. Some of that background in there was white. This was out of a book of Victorian reprints of Victorian illustrations, the little scrap illustrations. So, and I don't like the pure white, as you know. There we go. Just going to put that down in the corner because it's a little lady's birth registration. There, I like that. All right, and that works out well because this is going to go on that side in the tuck spot that it's going to go in. So then it's just, it's pretty. I'm going to leave this be. It's just going to be what it is. That way the new owner can put this wherever they want. I need to find the inscription. I've got it in one of these baskets that I have everywhere for Bessie Maud. I need to find the inscription where it says that she won this book because she memorized and recited an entire thingamajiggy. I need a clip. Where are my clips? Here's a clip. There we go. All right, so I've already inked the edges of this. I was tempted to sew it. I'm still tempted to sew it. I might sew it because there's already sewing here and it would look really nice. Or even to just sew it right there. It will look like it was part of the sewing that I did to put this on this page. Do you know what I mean? Then it will look like I actually planned it a few days ago instead of just planning it today. Now will that hold there nicely? It will. And then that can tuck there. And then that would tuck there. Yes. All right, I'm going to do one of my little pencil hints so that I know that that's where I want to do the sewing. Very lightly, so you probably can't see it with the camera, but I can see it. All right, I'm going to go sew it, and then I'll show you when I'm done. So, let me explain to you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to, you obviously can't fit this whole book although I have before, but I'm not going to do the book gymnastics this time, to try and fit all of this under the foot of the sewing machine in order to actually sew it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew on this, and then when I glue it on, I'll marry up the stitching, and it's going to look like it was sewn on when that was sewn on. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm going to go do. So, hold on. All right, little you who woke up over there while I was sewing, that's okay. It's almost our lunchtime. So I got the sewing done. I'm just going to push the bumps down on the back. I am going to pop these through to the front and tie them off as ever. There's lots of threads. Hold on, you just give me a second, little miss. And that's right on the edge, so I'm not going to, this one, where the stitch ended up, it's right on the edge. You're okay, give me a second. She's had enough. And of course, a second with a puppy can make all the difference between an accident and not. And since she just woke up, I think I'm going to have to go and take someone outside for a little potty break. Because puppies, when they wake up, you know, if you've had a puppy. So there's the plan. I'm just going to leave it be like that. That will get sewn on there. See what I mean? How the sewing looks like it was always that it did it, even though there's threads. The threads, come on, drama. Drama's good. And then these will get tucked in there. I love her birth registration. I think that turned out nice. Oh, I stamped while you were, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Pardon me, I'm sorry. I stamped, and since there's birds here, I did a nest and a bird looking over her nest. So there we go, and she's like the baby that was in the little nest. So that's what it's going to be like. I'll post a picture on Instagram. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day. I got to get a puppy outside who's probably got a tinkle. Take care.